Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we want to continue looking at our property wrapper series, and today we want to talk about the environment object. So we have here the code from the previous video about the observed object, and we have seen that with an observed object we can have our properties inside a class, and then we can just pass this observed object throughout our code, right? So this way we won't have to pass over these properties one by one, and they function the same way as our state variables would do. Now, this observed object is actually pretty helpful and we would use it pretty often, but there are also times where we could have something that we would pass over like nearly every view in our project, and let's say we have a lot of views, then this passing over of an object through, let's say, 100 of views would also become a bit unpleasant. And if possible, of course, we would also want to avoid this. Of course, it's possible, and it's possible with the environment object. So what changes we would have to make are actually very few. We first have to change the observed object here to add environment object, like so. Let's just do this everywhere. And now, again, we don't have to pass over this environment object. So this is exactly what we want. Let's just get rid of this. And we also don't initialize an environment object inside our views. So this is not necessary. We just declare it. And the initialization, and that's the difference between an observed object and this environment object, is that the initialization happens in our scene delegate. So we initialize an environment object every time our app shows for the first time. So that way we have an instance of it that will pass over to every view which calls this with add environment object. So let's just do this. So we have to initialize it here. So let's just say let data instance equal to data. And then we just simply say dot environment object data instance. And that's pretty much it. So now this should work. So let's run this. So we restart. And if we now click on change animal, then as you can see, this worked just perfectly. So in conclusion again, the environment object allows us to even go further with clean code, so that we don't even have to pass over this object through our views. Rather, we can choose which view needs one of these properties, and then we can call from this view using add environment object and get the instance that we have initialized at the first start of our app in scene delegate. That's all. I thank you very much for watching.